So if you start with diet and workouts, you've already failed. Here's what actually comes first. Hey, Trevor Buccieri here. I'm the founder of the Stay Young Center, and I've already helped my patients lose almost 600,000 pounds. And most people think that actually losing weight starts with eating less and working out more, but that's exactly why they struggle. They actually don't have a diet or workout problem. You actually have a strategy problem. And if you don't fix this first, no meal plan or workout routine will ever work for you long term. And today what I'm going to do is actually walk you through a simple 6-step framework that will actually completely change how you see yourself. And once you unlock this, there is no going back. So here's the 6 steps that we're actually going to be going through today. Number 1 is you have to believe it before you see it. Brutal truth right here. No one will ever believe in you more than you do. And this is the truth here. And it's the fact that just like on an airplane, when an oxygen mask falls down here, there's a reason why we have to put our oxygen mask on first. And that's so we can take care of ourselves first, so that we can serve and take care of everyone else around us. And if we're not actually believing in ourselves, how are we actually supposed to believe in other people and then take care of others? Because if we don't have the belief in ourselves that we're capable, how are we ever going to be able to put our best foot forward? We're not going to be able to. So no one is ever going to believe in you more than you do. And so much of this actually comes down to caring what others actually think about us and comparing ourselves to others. And here's a great, great quote. My wife actually just said it to me the other day. It's comparison is the thief of joy. When we're comparing ourselves to others, we're not supposed to be others. We're supposed to be ourselves. And we're supposed to actually learn to love ourselves. And only when we can actually love ourselves, then can we actually love others and give our best to others. So again, no one will ever believe in you more than you do. So here's the next thing. If you don't think you can do it, you've already lost. That whole negative mindset about what we think about ourselves here and saying, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'm incapable of this. We need to actually switch that verbiage around and say, I can do this. I am good enough. I am capable. And really just truly actually taking what we think about ourselves or our negative self-talk that we're saying to ourselves and literally write out the opposite of that. And as soon as we actually start thinking those thoughts, it's really truly actually something that has to be practiced over and over again is, actually recognizing the fact that we're having that thought and then saying the opposite. And saying the opposite multiple times until we actually believe it. Because here's the truth about our mindset. It is the thermostat to our success. It makes us or it breaks us. And it's so important that we actually set it on high. And when we're talking about eliminating that negative self-talk, we're talking about things saying like, I can't lose weight no matter what I do. And switching that around and saying, I can lose weight with every action I take. Switching that around, putting the opposite in there, and truly changing that mindset. And we start having that negative self-talk, being conscious of it and saying, here I go again. Catch it and say the opposite. I can lose weight no matter what strategy I try. I'm completely capable of it, and every single step forward I take is going to be successful. Something like that. Because here's the truth here. If we want to be different, we have to do different. Meaning that if we want to actually be different than everyone else, we have to take different actions. We have to have different mindsets. We have to actually take those different thoughts and put them into action and do the work that other people are not willing to do. As opposed to just sitting there in that mindset of negative self-talk and thinking poorly about ourselves, it's the actual people who do the work to change the way that we think about ourselves. Again, because no one is ever going to believe in you more than you do. And it's so important that we do the work to actually train ourselves to do this. So how do we fix this? It's start acting like the person who you already hit that goal. So if you start acting like that person who already hit that goal, you're going to be thinking to yourself, she wouldn't quit, neither would you, okay? So start acting like that person. All right, number 2 is you have false expectations about how this works, and that's why you're stuck. Most people actually think weight loss should be simple and struggle-free. Now, here's the deal. It's actually very, very simple in concept, right? But it's not easy. And it is absolutely going to come with struggles because anything that you've ever learned has come with struggles. You have to fail before you win. All right. So it takes failing again and again and again until you finally land. And I love this. I love this saying right here. Big winners pay in failures. I can't remember who said that, but I took it and I ran with it. And it's something that pops into my head. Big winners pay in failures. And this is something that when you actually fall, it's recognizing, hey, you know what? I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer because big winners pay in failures. This is where other people actually back away and other people give up. but big winners pay in failures. They get scars along the way, but those scars actually turn into wisdom, and that leads them to victory. And every single person who's actually ever lost weight and kept it off had setbacks. Fact. And we can say this about any single goal. Every single person who actually had a goal, they set it and they achieved it, they had setbacks along the way. And that is actually how we learn. That's how we get wisdom and how we actually earn the right to actually achieve that goal. Because that's actually how we get all the value of it. We remember when we actually stumbled and stumbled and stumbled, and all of a sudden we broke through. And those breakthrough moments are truly when we go, aha. When we talk about an aha moment, that's what that is. You only have an aha moment when you're actually having setback after setback after setback, and then you have that aha, and it's completely empowering, completely uplifting, and it starts changing, truthfully, how we feel about ourselves. So how do we fix this? Stop expecting perfection from yourself. Number one, perfection does not exist. Okay, so stop expecting perfection and expect and go for progress. The only way you can fail when you're doing that is to quit, and you're not going to quit. That's the only way you can fail when you're actually expecting progress and going for progress, all right? Because we've eliminated the expectation of perfection. Number three, the real reason that you're not actually there yet and how to fix it. The real reason you're not there yet, and it's kind of just like what we talked about number two, is that you're underestimating the time that it takes. So success equals sticking with something longer than most people. Now, most people quit right before they break through. There's an awesome story called 3 Feet from Gold, and I'm going to try to regurgitate it here. So this story actually goes back to the gold rush days, and it's about a man who bought a plot of land, and he was going to go out there and start digging for gold. And he started actually digging, and he actually ran into a vein of gold. He ran into a vein of gold, but he actually needed to go way, way deeper in his digging capabilities. So what he did was he actually left, went back into town, went to a machinist who actually had digging tools in terms of big giant drills that could truly go down deep. He actually purchased one of those. He went back to the land. He started drilling. And after he got all that machinery that he had just paid for, and all of a sudden, it wasn't there anymore. He could not find the vein, so he kept digging and digging for multiple days trying to find it. And finally, he just gave up. He said, you know what? I'm going to cut my losses here. I'm going to take these machines back, see if I can sell them back to the guy who sold them to me. Then I'm just going to move on. I'm going to cut my losses here. So he did that. He went back, and the person who sold him the equipment gladly gave him back his money for it. But they were very, very smart. They actually knew a buddy of theirs who was a land surveyor, and went and actually talked to the person who was the land surveyor and said, hey, here's this situation. Someone actually found gold, and all of a sudden it disappeared. What would be the reason for it? And the person who was doing surveying actually started talking to them about shifts in tectonic plates, of how the actual plates of the earth actually shift things over time. So that person did a little bit of math and figured out that, you know what, it actually should be about 3 feet to the right of where that person was digging, if that's the particular case. So why don't you give it a try there? So the actual machine shop owner took his machine that he had sold the guy who sold it back to him, and he went to that person's land here, purchased the land from the guy, and then ended up started digging. And sure enough, 3 feet from where the first gentleman who gave up was digging, he found that vein of gold and hundreds of millions of dollars in gold. And it comes back to my main point, is that most people quit right before their breakthrough. And the breakthrough is the payoff. And again, what we talked about here is, if you never quit, you're going to get that payoff, and that's the most important thing. And in fact, this is actually why people hire a lot of experts. This is why people hire experts in many regards, from business to, professional help to, relationship help to, help with their children, raising children, whatever it may be, any endeavor you're actually looking to improve. Many people actually hire experts, and the reason is they actually hire them to shortcut the learning process, to shortcut the mistake making process, because we can waste years making mistakes, or we can actually purchase shortcuts or ways to actually shortcut our way to results at the end of the day. And many people choose to do this. If you don't in any endeavor, that is no problem. I've actually done that myself. I've hired business coaches. I've hired fitness experts to actually help me in my methodologies, nutrition experts, whatever it may be, to truly accelerate what I do in my learning curve along the way over the past 29 years that I've been doing what I do. And I'll tell you what, I would actually spend every single penny and then more. In fact, I actually wish that I would have invested earlier and more, because it would have actually fast-tracked my knowledge so much quicker. And that's, again, why many people pay for shortcuts. That's a great thing. And truly that is my goal right here, right now, is to be taking my knowledge of everything that I've learned over the past almost 30 years and giving it to you so you can actually have these shortcuts to implement into your life, get value from them, and truly get where you want to be, because you deserve it. You deserve it. So here's a really powerful statement right here. The better we actually get at delaying gratification, the faster we win. So the question is this: in your body transformation journey, wherever you're at in it, right? Do you actually need a reward for doing 1 unit of work? Let's just say. And if the answer is no, I'd gladly do 1 unit of work. And let's just say 1 unit of work is, hey, I prepared my meal and I was on point. Okay, well, do you need a reward for doing 2 units of work? Wow, you prepared 2 meals and you were on point. 3 units of work, 4 units of work, 10 units of work. The more we can say, no, I don't need a reward to that, the faster you will win. Because again, the better you actually get at delaying gratification or the need for a reward, the faster you win. Because essentially what you're doing is you're committed to the cause, you're committed to your goal. And you know that when you're following a proven system over a long period of time, you're going to get there. It's just, again, it comes back to the fact that we completely underestimate the time that it takes, the time that success takes. And again, like I said, success equals sticking with it longer than most people are willing to. And most people quit right before they have that breakthrough. So the better we get at delaying that gratification or the need for some type of feedback mechanism or the need for some type of reward, the faster we win. So how do we fix this? We commit to the proven path and we follow the process and then trust the timeline that we truly don't know, but we know if we're taking those actions, we will get there most assuredly. Next, the 3 things you need to win. And here's the deal. You already have them. This is the best part about it. Number 1 is the guts to start. Okay, so starting is the absolute hardest part. It creates that momentum, that first step forward. It's a lot easier to take that second step forward, because here's the deal. Once you commit, that momentum takes over, and just let it take over. Let it take over. But the guts to start, and you've got that. Number 2 is the brains to learn. So you don't need to be perfect along the way. I think, again, we talked about that. Perfection is truly unattainable. It's progress that we're actually going for. Okay, so progress over perfection. And we need the brains to learn. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to have the desire to keep learning. Okay, you don't have to learn. It's a matter of you need to have the actual trait of the desire to keep learning. Oh, feed me. I want more. I want to learn more about this process. And that is the actual key to retention, by the way. Okay, so the more we actually crave to learn, the more we are actually going to retain, and the more we're going to be connecting the dots along the way and actually discovering for ourselves what works, what doesn't. We're going to be putting into our memory, and eventually we're going to get to a point where we say, I understand it. I get it. I'm empowered. I'm no longer a victim. I'm now in control. I know exactly what to do. That's the beautiful thing about having the brains to actually learn. That's what that means. And number 3 is having the heart to never give up. Like we talked about, if you refuse to quit, you will win. Okay, you absolutely will win if you have that will, you have that heart that never gives up. You get knocked down because, again, you had a failure along the way. Of course you're going to have a failure along the way. You don't know what you're doing 100% yet. That is part of the process, because when you actually have a win in a situation where you failed previously, that's actually where you get the reward. You get that uplift, you get that empowerment boost, and you say, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm doing it. I am capable of this. So again, if you refuse to quit, you will win, and you'll have multiple wins along the way. That's the beautiful thing. So how do we fix this? The only way to lose is to stop. So if you never stop, you never lose. And that is you, because you're not going to stop, which means that you're never going to lose. You are going to have victory. All right, number 5, let's talk about this here. Focus equals deleting distractions that keep you stuck. If you want this bad enough, you have to make space for it. We have to eliminate the distractions that are actually stealing our time and attention. So call it TV, call it Netflix, call it any extra activity that we're doing that is not truly serving us. All right, we can eliminate that, because you know what are we really getting out of it other than, say, wasting our time? Of course, hey, I like to go on YouTube Shorts, right? You know, many people like to go on TikTok or Instagram or whatever it may be, but it's like, you know what? We've got goals, and that's a commitment I've made to myself, is what am I doing to eliminate distractions here? Well, here's one great place to start. I opened up my screen time on my phone and looked at my app, and I was kind of like, oh, there's literally a couple couple hours a day. There's a couple hours a day that I can get back and commit towards my goals. So if we're eliminating distractions that are stealing our time and attention, we can immediately transfer it into our main goals. Because again, if you want this bad enough, it's crucial that we make space for it here. And mastering this now, mastering what we're talking about here right now, body transformation, you actually keep those results for life. And not to mention, you keep the actual knowledge and know-how for life. Like we talked about in that step previous to this, all those little things that start to click and all those aha moments that are actually happening go and stay with you to the point where now you actually know what to do. You're no longer a victim. You're in situations where you know how to handle it, and it no longer becomes a stressful situation of wondering, why is my body gaining body fat? Why am I holding body fat in my midsection? You actually learn how to actually fix that, why that was happening, what works for you, what doesn't, and it all goes in your memory, it all goes in your pool, and it becomes weapons for you, it becomes strategies for you. Because mastering this now, this skill, that's what this is mastering body transformation is going to enable you to keep your results for life, keep the knowledge for life and the know-how for life, so it'll be something you never have to really worry about again. And that's a beautiful thing. So how do we fix this? We cut the noise and we double down on this particular goal. It's so crucial that we're actually truthful about this particular section right here. When we're talking about doubling down on a goal, we're talking about taking extra time that we find and putting it into truly getting where you want to be, hitting your dream body goals and never looking back. It's like, how bad do you really want that? Have you actually gone through and said, here's exactly what I want in every single detail. Here's exactly what I want to look like. Here's exactly what I want to feel like. And then actually said, okay, if that happens, how's that going to benefit my life? What's it going to do for me? What's my life going to look like? And I ask you that. What's that going to give you? Is it going to give you confidence? Is it going to give you certainty? Is it going to give you your self-esteem to a different level? Is it going to give you confidence at work, confidence how you feel about yourself, confidence in your relationship, confidence in the bedroom? What is it going to actually do for you? Is it going to enable you to actually have a different relationship with your kids, be a leader to them? What is it going to do for you? And these are all the answers that I've heard from my patients over and over and over again. All right, is it actually worth it? Because if you say, no, it's not, no problem, beautiful. Take this extra time that you find and put it into your highest priority, your highest goal that's going to give you the greatest return in your life. But if you say, yeah, this is it, then we cut that noise, we take all that extra time, and we double down on this, and we give yourself permission to go all in, because what you're going to actually get on the other side, I tell you right now, you can't even imagine the benefits that are going to happen. And it's interesting because every single day I speak with my new patients here, and I ask them the same question. I ask them, if I snap my fingers and you were actually in your dream body, what's that going to do for your life? What's that going to enable for you? And they always actually say very, very similar things, along the lines of exactly what I just shared with you. It's going to give me back my confidence, how I feel about myself. It's going to, my confidence in how I approach my relationships, confidence in the bedroom. I'm going to have, confidence in work where I just don't feel like I have it right now. I'm going to have confidence with my friends when I go out instead of being distracted by the fact that I'm not where I want to be physically. I'm going to be 100% present with them, and I can enjoy that. I'm going to be, have a better relationship with my kids because I'm going to be a better leader, because I'm going to be leading by example to them, which is actually going to then have them respect me in a completely different way. I'm going to be able to actually be a participatory parent, as opposed to sitting on the sidelines as a parent because I feel like I'm just not able to physically move and participate like I want to be able to do. I'm going to be able to actually wear clothes that I want to wear and feel amazing in them. And the ones that have actually been sitting in my closet for years that right now I wouldn't dare wear. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to actually love my body, and I'm going to be happy again. Now, here's the thing. All those things we just talked about are 100% amazing. And truthfully, what my patients tell me over and over again, and I could go on because they're all in the same category and just as powerful. Self-esteem, self-love, confidence in all areas of life. That is game changing. So all this being said, that also means that the opposite is also true. Meaning that not being in your dream body or not knowing how to get your dream body and how to actually keep the results for life is actually costing you all these things we just talked about and the life that you actually want. Every single day you're not taking that step forward. That's the truth. And this leads us beautifully into number 6. The time is now, because why wait on a winning lottery ticket that you have in your hand? This is not just about weight loss. This is about the life that's waiting for you on the other side. It's about the life that you want on the other side. All of your dreams that you feel that, oh my gosh, if I had this, if I actually had my dream body and I could actually move and feel the way that I wanted to about myself, that's the most important part, is your perception of yourself when you get there. Because it turns you into the person that you actually are fantasizing about. That's the life that you want on the other side, and that's truly waiting for you on the other side. And every single day that you wait, you actually push your dream body further away, which means that you also push your dream life further away. So the sooner that you start, the sooner that you win, and don't stop until you do. Okay, so here's the fix with this. If you had a winning lottery ticket, would you wait to actually cash it in? Absolutely not. You would not do it. So go get what's yours. So there you have it. Hitting your dream body goals isn't just about diet and workouts first, actually at all. It's actually about how you think, how you commit, and how you take action. Okay? And when you fix that, everything else falls into place. Truthfully, I've been doing this almost 30 years, and that is the takeaway. And the thing is, most people actually struggle not because they don't know what to do, but because they never actually lock in with the right mindset and stay the course in that mindset. But now you know the real path. Your dream body is already possible. You just have to actually decide that quitting is no longer an option and just go. So if you're ready to actually stop waiting and start winning, drop a fire comment in the comments right down below here. And if this hit home, please follow me. I actually will make sure that you hit your dream body faster than you ever thought possible. Again, I'm Trevor Buccieri. Thank you so much for investing your time with me today. I know that that is your most valuable asset, and I 100% honor that, and give your best to the rest of your day. Take care.